What's your favorite teaching outfit and why?
I would say my favorite teaching outfit is what I'm wearing right now, in fact. And the reason why is, I think it serves a couple purposes. One, and probably most importantly, is it minimizes the amount of decision making I have to make in the morning, which I think is really important for teachers because teaching is such a decision-laden profession that realizing that all I need to do is pick out a clean black shirt, which I have multiple clean black shirts hanging up, and pick out a sport coat and a pair of clean jeans and a pair of shoes, and that's my teaching outfit. I think part of it is getting a sense of what other people expect, and then trying to find your own style within that. I think there's typically a lot of flexibility. So I think it's kind of that balance between understanding what other people would expect from you, like an administrator, your colleagues, or even your students or family members of students. But then again, finding a style that you're very comfortable with. So I think, again, finding something that you feel comfortable in, that you're not necessarily so differentiated from what the other colleagues are doing. So like wearing a full suit to teach every day, that might be, when they specifically said that's probably not a good idea. I mean, one could do that, it's your choice, but I try to fit within the general parameters, but still have my own kind of style that's comfortable for me. I would say one of the best things to do is talk to people. So if you're new to a community or a school, just ask very straightforward, what are the expectations around dress? And I think some schools, like when I started teaching at a middle school, they thought that when I went to my interview, I wore a sport coat with a tie, and they thought that was too formal. So they were basically, you could wear a shirt and a tie, or you could wear a polo shirt, but the sport coat and the tie is too much, too formal, too starchy. And I found that wearing a tie was too constraining for me. I just didn't feel comfortable. So I think you don't want to be worrying about how you look, or wearing things that are too constraining where you don't feel comfortable.
And would you mind standing up for us real quick so you could get a look at what you're wearing?
Okay.
And can you tell us about your choice of shoes? Do you have
Sure.
a tendency to wear a certain type of shoe?
Okay. I like wearing boots, a comfortable pair of boots. It kind of pays homage to my initial teaching roots, which go back to Wyoming. So I like a comfortable pair of boots. I also will wear dress shoes occasionally, but it's just kind of a nostalgia thing for me.
Okay. And last question.
Yes.
So, are there any models, whether they be former teachers, maybe famous individuals, musicians, artists, actors, Steve Jobs, who may have influenced your teacher style?
I don't know that there's any, one or two iconic images that I carry in mind. It's probably, I don't know. I mean, I think early on there definitely were some teachers that influenced me. Even, just the tone of my voice. I tried on different tones of voice or presence, and I just, over time, just started developing my own kind of sense. So I can't really put my finger on any kind of iconic images. I don't think Steve Jobs, I wasn't watching his early Apple speeches then, although, it's not a turtleneck, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to kind of really pinpoint those influences.
You're just one of a kind.
Yes,
All right,
perhaps.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. It's something that I found when I'm teaching, because I move around a lot. I was surprised at how much I would perspirate, right? So I think, being aware of that and then becoming self-conscious about that, that's another reason why a sport coat's great. You don't see the heavy perspiration under the arms or the back or wherever. So I think, that was probably an awareness for me where I just became so self-conscious that I was sweating so much, and my students were like, "Are you ill?" or "What's happened? Do you have a fever?" And so I realized that I need to account for that in my style as well, and maybe even make note of that yes, I do perspire. So can I wear something that doesn't make me so self-conscious about it?
And What type of deodorant do you use? No.
I make my own deodorant.